You won't believe what just happened in Roysambu. A woman feared deceased, and the trail leads back to one of the most disturbing viral scandals this continent has ever seen. A Russian man, spy glasses, hidden cameras, and now a positive HIV test that allegedly drove a young Kenyan woman to do the unthinkable.
A Kenyan woman who was sexually involved with the Russian guy has been found in her apartment in Roysambu. This woman was popularly known as Rosa. The story goes that she had gone to test herself whether she's positive or not. Apparently she found herself positive, and we don't know whether this was a case of as a result of finding herself positive, but we are yet to know about it. So
right now, as you are watching this, Kenyan authorities are scrambling. Social media is on fire, and the man at the center of it all is reportedly sitting in a jail cell in Japan. But here is what nobody is telling you.
You cannot believe this. Now, the Russian guy has released a statement. It's called Vyacheslav. He said that he has been studying the art of seduction for 15 years.
The full story is far worse than the headline suggests. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal to you is going to shake you to your core.
Hey, how are you?
Hello guys, I'm Jane from Russia, and I really want to go to Kenya.
Before we get into what happened at Roysambu, you need to understand how we got here, because this didn't start with a death. It started with a camera that nobody knew was rolling. Over the past several weeks, a series of videos began circulating across Telegram channels, Twitter, Reddit, and various adult content platforms. The videos, allegedly filmed by a Russian national traveling through Africa, showed intimate encounters with multiple African women in Kenya, in Ghana, and in other countries across the continent. But here is what made these videos uniquely horrifying. The women didn't know that they were being filmed. According to multiple reports and digital forensic analysis shared across social media, the man was allegedly using Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses. For those unfamiliar, and these are glasses manufactured in collaboration between Ray-Ban and Meta, formerly Facebook.
Wanadada wenzangu, amkuona hii tochi ikiwaka.
They look like ordinary glasses, stylish even, but embedded inside the frames is a tiny camera capable of recording high-definition videos and capturing audio without any visible indicator that would alert the person being recorded. Now, pause on that for a moment. Imagine you are in what you believe is a private, consensual moment. You have no idea that every second is being captured, and that footage is about to be uploaded to the internet for millions of strangers to watch, to comment, or to share it. That is the nightmare that multiple women across East and West Africa are now waking up to.
How are you?
Fine. Sorry, have I disturbed you?
Yes.
The man behind these recordings has been identified in various online circles by different names. Some sources refer to him as Yaytsev, others use the name Vyacheslav. His exact legal identity has not been formally confirmed by any law enforcement agency as of the time of this recording, but what is confirmed is, by sheer volume of footage that has surfaced, is that this individual traveled through multiple African nations, specifically targeting local women for content that he then monetized on the internet, and he didn't just record them, he allegedly bragged about it. But that is not all. Wait until you hear what happened next, because the secret recordings, as devastating as they are, turned out to be the only beginning of this horror story. Within days of the videos going viral, a new allegation emerged, one that transformed this scandal from a case of digital exploitation into something potentially criminal on an entirely different level. Sources close to the investigation, and I want to be very clear here, these are unconfirmed sources, but sources that multiple credible Kenyan journalists and bloggers have cited, began claiming that the Russian man is HIV positive, and let that sink in.
Cheki, this is very serious. One of the guy ule mwenye alikuwa na bebadi ule baby mama kona watoto akaenda katika ule dem kwa kanisa, that guy amekuwa arrested in Japan. nimekuwa nikiangalia sources tena tu saizi. Nilikuwa nimejua kitambo, lakini nilikuwa na make sure hizo sources ni za ukweli. Sister yake alimseti. The guy ako na HIV AIDS. Na kamwaniaje, unajua hizo inchi kama Russia wapi ukiambukiza mtu unashikwa. Na jamani kitombi akamwaacha kuja Afrika, mali atapata mademu ni desperate mbaya sana jo. So imagine wewe watu wangapi wameambukizwa ukimwi na msee mmoja, mademu wangapi wewe? Ni wengi. So na hao mademu wanaenda kuambukiza mabwana zao, maboyfriend zao. Jo. Nairobi hapana msee. Kaa chonjo mtu wangu.
If this is true, this means that every single woman featured in those videos, every woman he encountered during the travels across Africa, may have been unknowingly exposed to a life-altering virus. Now, I need to be responsible here. As of the time of this recording, there has been no official medical confirmation released to the public regarding his HIV status. No hospital records yet, no verified test results. What we have are claims from individuals who say that they are close to the situation and the sheer panic that those claims have generated. And that panic is not without a reason, because in Kenya, the conversation shifted overnight. It went from outrage about consent and exploitation to genuine fear about public health. Women who recognized locations in the videos, women who knew people in those neighborhoods, women who had encountered foreign tourists matching his description, all of them suddenly had a terrifying new question on their minds. Could I have been exposed? And this is where the story takes its darkest turn yet, because one woman allegedly went to find out. And this is the part of the story that has left all of Kenya in absolute shock. According to the widespread reports circulating on Kenyan social media, in Facebook groups, on Twitter Spaces, on TikTok, and through WhatsApp forwards that have reached millions of Kenyans, a young woman whose identity is being concealed out of respect for her family and for legal reasons was allegedly found deceased in the Roysambu area of Nairobi. A bustling residential neighborhood in the northern Nairobi, a place where thousands of young professionals and university students live, a place where, on any normal day, the biggest concern might be traffic on Thika Road or finding parking near the shopping centers. But this was not a normal day. The reports, and again, I must stress that formal police confirmation linking this death directly to the viral video scandal has not yet been publicly released. The reports allege that this woman was one of the individuals featured in the Russian man's recordings, that after her videos went viral, after her face or details that could identify her were circulated across the internet, she made the decision to go get tested. So she went in for a HIV test, and according to the claims spreading across Kenya right now, the results came back positive. What happened after that is where the details become murky and where responsible reporting must be very careful. The circumstances surrounding these have not officially been clarified. There is no confirmed autopsy report available to the public. There is no official police statement as of this recording that directly connects her passing to the viral video scandal or to an HIV diagnosis. But the Kenyan public is not waiting for the official statements. The outrage is already volcanic. On Twitter, the hashtag related to this case have been trending for days. Kenyan women are sharing their fury. Kenyan men are calling for justice. Community leaders in Roysambu and surrounding areas are demanding that local authorities release a formal statement to either confirm or deny these reports, because right now, in the absence of official information, fear and speculation are filling the vacuum. And fear in a situation like this can be just as dangerous as the truth. Mothers are calling their daughters, friends are checking on friends, and an entire nation is grappling with the realization that a tourist with a pair of smart glasses and alleged malicious intent may have caused damage that can never ever be undone. But hold on, because this story has another chapter that you need to hear. Just when Kenyans thought the situation couldn't get more complicated, news broke from the other side of the world. Reports have begun surfacing that the Russian man at the center of this scandal has been arrested, not in Kenya, not in Ghana, not in any African country, but in Japan. Details surrounding the arrest remain sparse and difficult to independently verify. What is being reported across multiple platforms and by several accounts that have been closely tracking this case is that Japanese authorities detained the individual, reportedly in connection with these activities, similar to those alleged in Africa. Some reports suggest that the arrest was triggered, at least in part, by the international outcry generated by the African videos, while others suggested that he may have attempted to continue his pattern of behavior in Japan and was caught. Now, here is where it gets even more confusing and where we need to separate the threads of this story very carefully. Because around the same time, a separate but seemingly related case emerged from the Philippines. A 21-year-old Russian vlogger named Nikita Trahov was arrested by the Philippine Bureau of Immigration. The charges threatening to spread HIV, and according to Philippine authorities, Trahov had alleged many statements or created content suggesting he intended to deliberately transmit the virus. However, and this is a critical detail, when Trahov was subsequently tested, he came back negative for HIV. So, now the question becomes, are these the same person? Are these connected cases, or are we looking at multiple Russian nationals engaged in similar predatory behavior across different parts of the world? The answer as of right now is unclear. What is clear is that the pattern is deeply disturbing. Whether this is one man or several, the modus operandi appears consistent. Travel to countries where foreign tourists may have been perceived as wealthy or desirable, target local women, record encounters without consent, upload the content for profit and notoriety, and in the worst case scenario, potentially expose victims to serious health risks without their knowledge or consent. This is not just a scandal. This is not just a viral moment. If these allegations hold up, this is a potential international crime. And now, this brings us to the question that legal experts across multiple countries are now grappling with: what happens next legally? In Kenya, recording someone during an intimate act without their consent is a violation of privacy laws and can be prosecuted under the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Act of 2018. Section 29 or Section 29 of the Act specifically addresses the publication of false information, while other provisions deal with the unauthorized access to and distribution of intimate images. Beyond that, if it is proven that an individual knowingly transmitted HIV to another person without disclosing their status, Kenyan law treats this as a serious criminal offense, and under the Sexual Offense Act and under broader public health legislation, the deliberate transmission of HIV can carry significant prison sentences. In Japan, where the arrest reportedly took place, privacy laws are among the strictest in the world. Japan's Act on the Prevention of Voyeurism and Protecting Dignity, enacted in 2023, specifically criminalizes the use of hidden cameras to record individuals without their consent. Penalties can include imprisonment of up to 3 years or fines of up to 3 million yen. Now, before I close this one out, I want to be very honest with you about what we still do not know. We do not have official police confirmation of the exact cause of death of the woman in Roysambu or a confirmed direct link to the viral video scandal. We do not have verified medical reports confirming the HIV status of the Russian man, and we do not have official confirmation from Japanese authorities regarding the specific charges under which he is being held. And we do not have a complete, verified list of all the women who may have been affected. What we have is a rapidly developing situation fueled by social media, by fear, by legitimate outrage, and by one desperate need for answers that official channels have been too slow to provide. I will be following this story closely as new information emerges, as official statements are released, as investigations progress. I will bring you updates. But right now, in this moment, what I will say is this: if these allegations are even partially true, What happened is not just a scandal, it's not just a viral moment, it is a crime against the dignity, the privacy, the health, and potentially the lives of real women, and the world is watching to see whether justice will be served. Now, if this story moved you, if it angered you, if it made you think, then do one thing right now. Share this video, not for views, not for clout, but because the women at the center of this deserve to be heard. They deserve justice, and they deserve a word that refuses to look away. Drop your thoughts in the comments below, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because as this story develops, you will want to be the first to know what happens next. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.